Welcome to the OLV Daily Reflection for Thursday, October 28th. Today, the Universal Church celebrates two apostles, St. Simon and St. Jude. There's little known about these two men, but what is most important about them is the fact that Jesus chose them from among his disciples who were closest to him to be apostles, those who would be sent out in his name. And today's gospel passage chosen for today's Mass highlights this reality. Our reading comes from the 6th chapter of St. Luke's Gospel. It reads, Jesus went up the mountain to pray, and he spent the night in prayer to God. When day came, he called his disciples to himself, and from them he chose 12, whom he also named apostles. Simon, whom he named Peter, and his brother Andrew, James, John, Philip, Bartholomew, Matthew, Thomas, James the son of Alphaeus, Simon who was called a zealot, and Judas the son of James, and Judas Iscariot, who became a traitor. As I mentioned, today the Universal Church honors St. Simon and St. Judas, their role as apostles. But if we look at them along with the other 10 apostles, I think we can say a couple things with certainty about this group. First and foremost, they had no idea that one day they would be chosen by Christ for the special role of being his representatives in the world. And we can make this assertion because they were not the ruling elite. They were not highly educated. And they were not even religious leaders among the Jewish people. These men simply felt a call to follow Jesus Christ, and he, in turn, chose them to be his apostles and to bestow upon them the special vocation of truly being his representatives in the world. So therefore, our vocations, that through which God is calling us to serve him and serve others in the world, is something that we don't earn, we don't apply for, but it's something that God chooses for each of us. And if we understand that in our lives and we truly live with this knowledge, we don't put too much pressure on ourselves. We don't get hung up on the fact that we're not as talented, as gifted as others. Or maybe, again, we sometimes can just be who we are and trust that God will call us wherever he wants us to go. But within the Catholic Church, we generally recognize 4 vocations: single life, married life, religious life, and holy orders. And each of us are called by God to enter into one of these 4 primary vocations so that, again, we can serve him and serve others in our lives. And yes, our vocations will look very different because we are very different people. But again, these 4 general vocations of single life, married life, religious life, and holy orders should guide our thought and our prayer, especially if we're on the younger side of life. But also as we grow older in these vocations, figuring out, what does this mean for our lives? Where are we calling into a deeper relationship? Because again, brothers and sisters, it's not about us, but it is truly about Jesus calling each of us to know, love, and serve him, and to truly help our brothers and sisters as they move throughout this world. So as we continue with this day of meditating upon the apostles and their special role within the life of the church, let us also take a moment just to ponder our own special role within the church. As we fulfill our vocation, and as we continue to discern how we fulfill our vocation, we acknowledge that each of us have a very special role to play, that no one else can play. No one else can do. And with this knowledge, let us truly commit to doing whatever God asks of us. Because again, if we don't do it, it may not happen. Because each of our vocations is truly important. Because God has a plan for our lives and asks us to cooperate with His will. Our Lady of Victory, pray for us.